Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon once again. Another beautiful weekend, beautiful Saturday. Let's just give 2 minutes to wait for our people to join up. 2 minutes, we'll be starting. Exactly 2 minutes, we'll be starting. So let's try to share with people. Thank you very much for coming on board. Madam Patience, thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Fala Gold. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's a great woman that put the native into act. Let's have. We're waiting 2 minutes. We're waiting to have some of my students online and some of our viewers online. Please help us to share. If you're here on the platform, you can help us to share on your Facebook for people to benefit from what we're going to teach today. Thank you for coming on board. Thank you for coming on board. Thank you for coming on board. In a minute we are starting. Please, if you can hear me, please let me just see your thumb up. If you can hear me, let me see your thumb up so that thank you, Mr. Monday, for coming on board. Thank you, Mr. Monday. Please help us to share. Help us to share so that we can connect to as many today. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. Today we are going to run some likely tests also today, and we are going to teach on the automobile maintenance, and we are going to talk much about how the exam is being placed. In the next some seconds, I think we should start without wasting time. I think we'll be starting now. Thanks for coming on board, Sister Bridget. Thank you, Mr. Sunday. Thank you, Madam Patient. Thank you. I appreciate you people that has always been making it happen every Saturday. You've been a source of encouragement to come on this platform free of charge, and it has always been interesting because we've been getting a lot of feedback calls from people from different angles, from outside Spain, even in Africa, and those that are benefiting from it. And I would really appreciate everyone if you can help us to share to your platform so that your friends too can benefit. And we are doing it free, and we take our time to come here on Saturday, and we realize that after the lecture people come and view it. but it's good. Some of them comes live because after the live video they start calling in to ask, and it's important to call in so that we can share, because this is a platform where we share ideas together. Thank you for coming in, Precious Abubakar. Thank you. So I'm starting today. Let me first of all appreciate Almighty God for giving us another day. I bless the Most High God for the strength and everything He has done, because if not because of Him, I don't think I will be available to even do this. But I bless God. I bless Him. I give Him glory. All glory to Him, because He has been the backbone and He has been doing it since. I appreciate Him. Thank you for coming on board. Leye, happy birthday to you. Thank you. So this is just wonderful. Today we're going to talk about the mechanical maintenance, and we're going to make it brief because we are having some likely tests which we do in our school online. And the number to call in is 620-586-038. If you look at the screen, it's there, the number to call in. And if you have any likely question on how to make your exam here on road safety or driver's license or mechanical problem concerning your car, in here you can call in. If you're calling from Nigeria on WhatsApp, you can add +34, that is the Spanish code, which is very important. We are here to assist. That's the purpose of us coming on this platform every Saturday 1 o'clock. We wanted to stop last 2 weeks, but a lot of call came in that we shouldn't do that they are benefiting and it's really helping. So that is our that's our own contribution to the masses here, and we are doing our own as that. And a lot of people, we've been hearing testimony. A lot of people are coming in. A lot of people are getting what they planned for. So today I'm going to talk about the mechanical state of the vehicle. And when we talk about the mechanical state of the vehicle, we're talking about the engine first. We're talking about the engine. What is the purpose of the engine, and how does the automobile work? How does it work? With the help of the engine, the automobile moves. And I'm going to restrict myself to the two type of feeding system, which is the engine system, which according to the theory here, because if I begin to go to the solar, the electric, the gas, we might be going into some kind of advanced technological element in those parts. But I'm going to only strict on the diesel and the petrol engine. The diesel and the petrol engine. So the diesel and the petrol engine are the kind of feed which we have in some of this engine we are used to on the street, and there are different pattern of maintaining them, which we have to understand. According to the gear changing also, when you have a diesel, you have to change gear in diesel earlier. You don't wait until when it starts making noise before you change gear. The mentality of some African person until when the manual gear changes sound. Even those that drive automatic, they don't even listen to the automatic whether it's changing, because most people, when they have automatic car, they just keep on driving. They don't know that you have to listen. You have to feel if the gear is changing. So in that case, I'm going to talk much about the manual here, because the manual has some compartments to treat. Now, so the petrol and the diesel stuff. When it comes to the petrol, the petrol has to mix with the air, the atmospheric air that comes in from the air, from the atmosphere. It comes in and mix with the engine through the air filter. So there's an air filter that filters air. If that air filter is blocked, automatically you have what we call the rich mixture, which means you'll be having a kind of black smoke at the back of your exhaust pipe. So which means you're using more fuel in your vehicle than the necessary, because the air has to turn to gas with the help of the mixture of the air that comes in with the petrol. So when the petrol is sprayed into a chamber that does the mixing, which is the mixing stuff, it can be a carburetor, ejector, or the stuff that does the mixing. So when the fuel is being sprayed in it, which is petrol, it gets in, sucked air comes in, and here mixed with it to form a gas. Just like in diesel. In diesel, you know, you have the compressed air. The air sucked in into the combustion area, and when it's being compressed and get heated before the diesel is sprayed, because the diesel, you know, is somehow thicker than the petrol. So in that case, the two are different. You can't buy diesel in the petrol. People do ask that when you do mistake of buying diesel into a petrol engine, what you need to do is to visit your mechanic workshop, let them remove it totally and have it repaired. So because it's very, very important, because it won't work. It will make it not to work. It might knock up the engine and make it pack up. So that's it. So we have some other power. That is what we call the power system. That is the bringing of the mixture into the cylinder. Remember that the cylinder, we have different cylinder in an engine. We have 4-cylinder, 5-cylinder, 6-cylinder, 8-cylinder, 12-cylinder, depending on capacity of your engine and the strength which is going to give. And here we have other things like electrical system. What is the electrical system in the vehicle? Electrical system are those gadgets that supply electric currents. You know, when we talk about electrical system, we're talking about the lighting system, we're talking about the ignition system, the charging system, we're talking about the starting system, we're talking about the battery also. Now let me try to pick them. The lighting system, you know, the purpose of light is to see and to be seen, because all the light at the front make you to see and all the light behind make you to be seen. So it's very, very important for you to align that light very well. It requires a kind of regular alignment so that the light will not just be looking up. You know, when you adjust the light, you know, the normal one which we adjust here is that deep beam headlight, which it has to be a good vision so that it won't dazzle, because when it start dazzling other users, it means that it's not well adjusted in that area. And again, you have to understand that your light, the focusing of your light matters. When we talk about light, we talk about the ignition system. What are the ignition system? We have the spark plug. You know, the spark plug is there. The spark plug is the one that ignites the mixture. That like you now expose a gas to a container and you strike matches. What strike that matches is the spark plug. So that is why when the spark plug is wet under the where you have the particle that sparks, the spark plug will not work, and the engine will tend to like not giving the best results out for you. So in that case, you change the spark plug in most of those vehicles that uses spark plug. We're talking about the petrol engine. So when the spark plug is not good, one is not good, you will notice that the whole system of the engine is not balanced in its state. So the spark plug happens to be the ignition system in that area, So we have the other thing, which is like the charging system. The charging system is the alternator, which can also be called the dynamo. You know, the purpose of this is to charge back the battery, because when you use the battery, something needs to charge it back. It's just like our phone. You know, when you use the phone during the day and you need to like charge up the phone, you put the charger. So the work of the charger in your phone is about the alternator to the battery. So the battery has a means of a system that charges back. So when you start the engine, you use the battery. So something has to put the battery back to its normal voltage, which is the charging, the alternator, which is also called dynamo in exam, in case you meet a question like that. So when you start the engine and the fan belt is rotating, the fan belt passes through the alternator, and when the alternator is turning, there's a diode that is like charging back that battery. So when the diode is charging back the battery, you get the battery. When the battery gets to its normal top charge, there's a cutout on that alternator that makes it to stop charging. Though it's rotating, but it stops charging. That is when you notice a smoke of battery from your engine, just quickly know that thing is not is continue charging your battery. It does not cut out. So you have to visit the electrical area, workshop, so that for them to quickly check up what is the problem, because the alternator don't supposed to charge continuously. It's supposed to charge when it fill in the normal charge, which is the 12 volt of the battery. It's supposed to cut off and stay without charging again until when the battery goes down also. So we have the starting motor. The starting motor is that appliance that moves, that starts that taking the power from the battery. You know, it's taking its own power from the battery direct. So when you start the engine, you just put in ignition key and you turn. What's crank turn the flywheel is the starter motor. So that starter motor is taking a lot of big current from batteries. That is why when you keep charging, starting, and the vehicle is not responding, you notice that at a particular time the battery will go off. What makes the battery to go off is because you are using more current from the battery, which nothing is charging back the battery. Remember that before the battery can start charging back, it has to take the alternator moving. That is why sometimes when your belt cut off, this engine will not have a means of turning all those other systems that function in the vehicle. We have the battery. Now, what is the battery? The battery is that storehouse of electric current. It's like a box that has two poles, positive and negative poles. Positive and negative poles is not, you see some local mechanic, they put wires on the two poles and it sparks. So because current is there, so now it has what we call a kind of 6 O's. So in that 6 O's, there are cells, positive, negative cells that are into heat. So those cells, they are the one that built up current. And we have two types of battery. We have the dry cell and we have the wet cell. The wet cell battery is the one that has that liquid that most in Africa they call it acid. It's not an acid. It's an acid. That thing is called electrolyte. The liquid inside the wet cell battery is called electrolyte. And what is electrolyte? Electrolyte is a chemical mixture that is made up of sulfuric acid plus distilled water. I repeat, electrolyte is a combination of two chemical, which is the sulfuric acid plus distilled water. So they mix sulfuric acid together with distilled water to form what we call electrolyte. So in case in exam, if you are asked what is the name of the liquid in a battery, electrolyte. What is it made up of? It's made up of sulfuric acid plus distilled water. And again, when you're using that wet cell battery, you notice that the electrolyte levels start going down. So you have to top it up with something. That's why in Nigeria you realize that some people take their battery to the workshop and the battery charger will be telling them, I have to put another acid. It's a lie. When you put another acid, you are spoiling the battery. What you put in is the distilled water. You just buy distilled water, you pour it in that battery, because the acid does not go off of the battery. The acid only dry and stays in the cell. So what you need to top up, if you top up with another sulfuric acid, you're spoiling the battery. The battery will not have a long year to stay. So you're killing the battery automatically. So what you top up is the distilled water. In exam, it comes up. What did you use in topping up your wet cell battery? The distilled water. So that is how it goes. And the maintenance you give to that battery again is to clean the tap, the terminals, which is the poles. When you clean the poles, you try to apply Vaseline, which is the grease. Now, when we come to the dry cell battery does not have any liquid in it. The dry cell battery only have like powder or chemical that is not liquid in it. So when you turn it upside down, it does not have any water coming, but it has a kind of duration which is lasts and is more effective. Like most of this new car comes with the dry cell battery, and when you have the dry cell battery, the only maintenance you give to it is to clean the poles, which is the terminal, put Vaseline or grease. They use Vaseline in exam. Most exams they say, what did you use in greasing the is Vaseline. You use Vaseline, which is called grease, also to clean, so that it won't corrode, it won't rust like that. And when you notice this white kind of powder on it, like getting rust, you want to just need to clean it with water, put Vaseline or a grease on it. That is the maintenance you give to the battery, which is the both wet cell battery or the dry cell battery. So I told you also that you have to you check your battery also when you realize that you are hearing a smell of chemical. When you're driving, you are hearing smell, you're perceiving a smell of chemical in your car. Go for your battery, open the engine, try to smell. If your battery is smelling, you're exposing it to a kind of explosion, or you're having the top charging is overcharging. So I told you in this topic today we're going to talk about some troubleshooting, and I'm going to explain some solutions, because we are talking about the mechanical maintenance or automobile maintenance, which we have to understand. So those are all the electrical gadgets in the vehicle. Now we have the lubrication. What is the purpose of the lubrication in the vehicle? Lubrication in the vehicle, the engine contains some parts that are in continuous friction. So the oil helps in that movement. They prevent the wear, they prevent the tear. Tear is the breaking of those things. And also, one thing you have to understand about lubrication, which comes out in exam, is that lubrication reduce cooling. It helps in cooling. It does the cooling system. A question comes in exam and said, does the lubrication oil cools the engine? Yes, that is why you just don't put any oil. You can't just buy olive oil and pour it in your engine. Now, like some pastors, maybe they want to anoint your car, pray for your car, and they open the engine oil area and they pour anointing oil. They are killing the engine. The engine, because the kind of oil that comes into that engine is different. It has its own viscosity and it has something that has to do. So it does the help of cooling also, because in exam it comes this way. That does the engine oil just cooling? Yes, it cools. We know that is the cooling system, which is the water stuff that does the cooling, but the another job of the oil is to cool the engine also. So we have the oil gauge. We have the dipstick, which is the oil gauge. I think, let me just see if I can have the picture here. We have the dipstick which we use in gauging the oil. We use it in gauging the oil. So when you put the dipstick in, you check. The dipstick has it has maximum and minimum level. So when it has a maximum, so in that area you try to gauge, you check that the oil gauge should be in between the maximum and the minimum. Should be between the maximum and the minimum. So it shouldn't be lesser than the maximum. It shouldn't be greater than the maximum. It shouldn't be lesser than the minimum. Look at this now. Look at this woman trying to gauge. So when you see this kind of red lights of oil, it means that area, that place, that oil is less. So you have to check your oil, or you are having it lower in a gauge like this. You can have any of these two in your vehicle. What you need to understand, that the your engine needs oil. You have to apply more oil. So you don't allow that thing you don't continue driving like that, because when you continue driving like that, your engine can get tear and your engine can get knocked out immediately, because your engine needs oil to work. It needs oil to work. So, and how do you check your oil? You check your oil when the engine is stopped and when the engine is cold at horizontal level. You check in the morning before going out. Check your oil. Because there might be a leakage maybe down the engine. So check your oil. And when you want to change your oil, there are two things. Checking oil, you check it when it's cold. But when you want to change the oil, you change the oil when it's hot. Because when it's hot, all the oil will be able to drain, will be able to go out when you're draining it. So you have to change the oil when the engine oil is on. And you must understand the kind of oil which you use when you are doing service, because it's very important. Because some people complain that they are having overheating on their vehicle because you are using a wrong oil. So you just don't buy oil because they are buying it at a bigger shop, or the name of the shop is costlier. No, get the kind of oil that has to, and get treatment also to it if you are not sure that oil can deliver what you want. So what you just need to do is get a kind of treatment to that oil, so that it could make the oil to be more better for you to use. So I told you, when you are changing oil, you change the filter also, because all those things has a filter. The oil has a filter, the air has a filter. So when you are changing most things, when you realize that the oil is dirty, automatically it means that the filter is dirty, because the oil passes through the filter before it goes into the moving parts. You understand me? So you have to get that clear. So we have the cooling system. The cooling system, you remember that the cooling system it works when the engine is at the 90 degrees centigrade, 95 degrees centigrade at the temperature. That is when we have some kind of thermostat opens and the water runs and the engine comes back and all the stuff. So you have to understand that when you pour water in the radiator or in the container that goes to the radiator, the water stays there. But there's a water in the engine that is there waiting. So when the engine is hot to at the temperature of 95 above, there's a force. A water pump forces the water in the engine to go back to the radiator, to go, so that the one in the radiator that is cool goes into the engine to replace that one. So that was how the system runs. So when it runs, so that's why when you have a short water, you tend to have overheating in your engine. You tend to experience overheating in your engine. But when you have the water is filled to the normal, it means that you have a complete kind of rotation, which is sometimes you see mechanic will ask you to remove the thermostat. No, don't remove the thermostat, because the thermostat does a better job. What you need to do is that get a good thermostat that has a normal temperature degree before it opens, not that it should be open and be running the water. Because when you are just running the water, to flow like that, it means that you are making the water to just run without even having one staying to cool, the other one stay, just like what we have in this picture. Look at this. If you look at this picture, this is how it is. You have the container, and in the container here, the water goes into the radiator, and you realize that here blows the radiator to cool the water, and that is the passage. There's a passage for water, and there's a passage for oil. There's a passage for water, and there's a passage for oil in the engine. The passage for water should not mix with the passage of oil, because that is why when you open the container of your water and you notice oil, if you notice trace of oil, you put your hand in it, not when it's hot, because when it's hot, if you open it, it's very, very dangerous. When it's cold, maybe before you start to move your car in the morning, when you open it and you notice oil inside, you have to like visit the mechanic, because it means that somewhere oil is passing through, oil is getting into the passage of the water. So it shouldn't be so, because when oil is getting into the passage of water, it means that maybe the gasket, the top layer, it has a problem already, and maybe it's burnt. So there's a passage that is connecting water into the oil. So you have to like quickly watch out for that. So we have the other, I told you that you must have a good a good coolant in your, if you, it depends on the weather condition. When you are on this area where you have snow, you have to have anti-frozen kind of liquid in your radiator. And when you have when you are in the hot weather, you have to have the other one, which will be better. And it can be in different color, because sometimes they use color to like trick people. You see the liquid green, wow, it said is anti-frozen. No, it's not the issue of color, it's the issue of you doing the original work that you buying it for. You have the radiator. The radiator, I told you, is a container that does the cooling, that cools the water that comes from the engine into and we have the thermostat. It opens and closes the passage of water around that circuit. So it shouldn't be removed, it should be replaced when it's not working right. That's it. And we have the water pump. The water pump is the one that moves the liquid from inside the circuit, to move it, turns it around and makes the system to work rightly. So we have the steering system. What is the steering system? The steering system is the one that does the directional wheel. We have the wheel. Direct the wheel to the left or direct the wheel to the right, because when you turn the steering, its job is to divide the vehicle wheel to one side or the other side you send the message to. So it's very, very important for you to understand that way. So please, we are about ending the class very soon. So if you have any mechanical or technical question, you can call in to 620-586-038, or you have any question concerning exam of traffic exam here, or you have any question, you've been to exam before, or you are yet to go to exam, or you want to be a student, you want to be part of us in our school online, it's convenient for you to join us. You can call 620-586-038. We can get your materials also. If you want a material that will make you to pass in exam, there are a lot of material in most of the school that are not even helping. They make you to crack brain much, and you do the stress, you go first time, second time, third time, fourth time, you're not getting it, you get pissed off and you leave it for another year. So this is your year, and this is the time. Why we come here is to let you know that you can get your material, even though you are not a student, you don't want to be a student, but you can get our material and we'll post it to you. Whether you're living outside Spain, we can post the material to you and we'll deliver it to your doorstep. And we are online, we teach online in Spanish and English, and we'll make it real for as many students that wants to get it done. And we've been having a good result for years here in Spain and outside Spain also, and it has been yielding. So let me go back to, we have the purpose of the steering, as I said, is that it does the job of pointing the wheel to the right direction where you want. And we have the suspension system. The suspension system, it prevents the irregularity of the road. So it prevents you, it makes you comfortable. It's not, sometimes it's so funny when you see people saying, when your car is bouncing, it means that your shock absorber or your suspension is okay. No, it's a lie. It shouldn't bounce. It should have, it has to just resist a kind of irregularity you meet on the road. So it should make the people in the vehicle, the passengers, the driver in the vehicle, to be comfortable when they are driving. So it's not for you to feel the impact of all those uneven surface of road when you are driving. So you have to be very, very careful. So, and again, the shock absorber can be in poor condition. This question comes in exam. It can be in poor condition. When you brake and you realize that the vehicle moves, the vehicle moves to the front like this. The vehicle moves to the front. So when the vehicle leans to the front, towards the front, it means that the shock absorber is not so good. It's not so good. So you have to brake and the vehicle stays normal. So you shouldn't like the vehicle lean to the front. And again, when you enter a curve, you realize that the car is like going out, getting out. It means that the shock absorber is not even in good condition. Sometimes you realize that when the shock absorber is not good condition, the tire starts getting wear unevenly on different side. You just notice that left, right, on the side, at the center, the tire is just getting worn anyhow. So we have the transmission system. What is the purpose of the transmission system? The purpose of the transmission system is to transmit the movement of the engine to the wheel. Its job is to transmit the movement of the engine to the wheel, and it comprises of the gearbox and the clutch. Somebody can say, but there's no clutch in manual. The clutch of manual is in the clutch of automatic is inside the gearbox there. So it does the normal work which selects for you. That is why I told people, many people drives the automatic without even taking charge, without listening. You can't be driving a car without listening to sound. So when you are driving your car, you must listen to the sound. You have to listen to the sound very well, because it's very, very important for you to listen to the sound, because so that why do you listen to sound? So that you will know if the engine, the gear is changing. You put it on drive. In the drive, there's gear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when it's changing, you will notice it when you are driving it. But when it's not changing, you are not having it clear. So it's very, very important for you to know that is good, And in the manual, the manual, we have the gear selecting stuff, and the gear, when you change your gear, you have to change your gear by pressing the clutch down, as the theory entails. In that process, you should understand how to do it. Now we have some other tools which you have to carry in your motor vehicle. Here, you carry 2 warning triangle. It's very important. It's obligatory that you must have 2 warning triangle, not 1, 2 warning triangle. 1 reflective jacket that is homologated, which is authorized, which should be seen at least in 150 meters from where you're standing. So it's very, very important for you to understand. Private car don't need fire extinguisher. Here, fire extinguisher is meant for public service vehicle like taxi, the public bus, lorries, and all the stuff. But your private car don't need fire extinguisher. It comes in exam. Must you put in a fire extinguisher in your car? No. Your private car don't need a fire extinguisher unless you are doing a public service stuff. So we have the extra tire. The extra tire can be a conventional tire, and the extra tire can be this normal tire, which is temporal tire. The temporal tire, you remember that it has a limit. The temporal tire cannot speed more than 80 km per hour. The temporal tire should be changed in any 200 km. In 200 km, you have to change it, because when you have it replaced with your normal conventional tire, you should just look for a way to repair that tire and put that tire back, because the conventional, the temporal tire is a smaller tire which shouldn't go far. It shouldn't speed more than 80 km per hour according to law. So your conventional tire is that same tire according to the one on your wheel, the same one. So it's better when you have a temporal tire, remove the temporal tire, buy the conventional one and put it on. It's very, very important for you to have the conventional always with you. So I think that's the end of today's class. If you have any question, you can call in through WhatsApp or through our direct call 620-586-038. If you have any question generally, and if you are a student and you're online and you want to ask any question, you can type it also. Today we are not going to throw any question online because we are having a time management. So if you have any question generally, whether you have something to share, you can call on video. You can call on phone 620-586-038. Remember that I do encourage that. Don't allow anybody to do exam for you. You can do it. It's just a matter of time, because Mr. Hay does his own just 1 month does not mean that you should do your own 1 month. You can do your own 2 months, you can do your own 3 months. Just give time for it. Study with the right materials. Study with time. Give time to yourself, and it's possible. Don't pay someone, because paying someone to go and do it is an offense here in Spain, and when you are caught, it becomes a problem. You can lose your documents. You can lose your document. Our number is on the platform. If you want to be our student, we have online class, and an online class we follow up every student every day, and we make sure that we cover everything that you have to meet in exam, and we use the right material that tallies to exam. You won't have any problem. People can say, oh, their English is not like the way it is. No, it's a lie, because you are not using the right material. That's why you are talking that way. And we are available 24 hours to make it real for you. If you believe and you feel that you can give us a try, our class is even open 7 days free. 7 days free. If you want to join and you want to be a student for 7 days to see what we are doing, you can call us, give us a call on the same number you're seeing on the screen, and we add you to our class online, and you listen to our teaching. If our teaching pleases you and you see it's making it real, you can go on with us, pay our school fees, and join us, and we'll pay you, and we'll make things happen. But if you feel that, oh, I can get another means of getting this, we can show you the door out also. So it's better you get it this year. This year, there's a purpose of us coming online. This year is meant for you. Give it a time. We know no human being has time. No human being, but we have time when there's no time. There's a time for you to create time for it. It's very important. Don't wait until when it will be knocking at your door for it. Just, you can get it now. Don't wait until when your child will ask you, Mommy, Daddy, why don't you drive when Mr. Hay drives? Mommy, Daddy, our neighbor is the one carrying us always. It's because you know how to drive, but you don't have an authority to drive. But authority to drive takes time, takes study. There's difference between moving a car and driving a car. Many people that come from Nigeria, come from Africa, they move car. They can move car from here to America, but they don't drive car from here to America. Driving entails you understanding the signs, signals, obeying the law, interpreting everything, traffic rules on the roadway. That is the driving. That is what driving entails. So thank you for coming on board today. Let me give like 3 minutes if you have any question from anyone, any question. I'm waiting. Any question, please, you can call in direct. You can call in direct 620-586. Any question from anyone? Any question from the house? If you're online, you can call us through WhatsApp also. You can call us through WhatsApp 620-586-038. You can call us through WhatsApp. We're waiting to have you. You can call us. Waiting. Thank you very much, Honorable Kunle, for coming on board. Thank you, brother, Mr. Clement. Thank you, Sister Bridget, for always being there. Thank you for as many that comes on board today. Thank you, Midred. Thank you, brother. How can you proceed during emergency braking? Very good. How can you proceed during emergency braking? How can you proceed during an emergency braking? During an emergency braking, in what way? Is it when brake failure? Is it brake failure stuff? When you notice a brake failure? If it has to do when you notice a brake failure, what happens is that the first thing is to remove your leg from the throttle, remove your leg from the accelerator, and try to reduce the hinge, the gear. What you're doing then is what we call what you're doing there is what we call the engine braking. You're using the engine to brake. And when you try the engine braking and the vehicle is not still stopping, what you need to do is now put in this case, your brake pedal is not working. The brake has failed. So you start putting up your handbrake little by little. The handbrake has to do with cable. So the cable can cut in that area before you now do the last resort, which is moving the car to the ditch or the barrier, stopping it with the barrier. So That is an emergency braking in case of brake failure. Now, what is the function of ABS? Oh, ABS. What is ABS? ABS is anti-locking braking system. You know, it's a kind of braking system that works together with this service brake, which is with your foot. And you know, it's always sleeping most time. But when an emergency comes up, emergency something, it makes the vehicle to stand still, make the vehicle not to just still, not to slip off the road. It makes the vehicle to, like, yes, you have a grip within just a milliseconds. When you press your brake, bam, suddenly the ABS functions. So anti-lock, it makes the wheel not to lock, it makes the steering not to lock. So that's its purpose. Does the bus have the same speed limit with the car in urban area? Yes, in urban area everybody has the same speed limit, which is 50 km/h. In urban area, every vehicle has the same speed limits. The maximum speed limit for private car, motorcycle, or derived vehicle, mixed vehicle, bus, the lorry, the camping van is 50. Everybody is 50 in a built-up, and the minimum speed is half of it, which is 25 km/h. So in exam, don't let them trick you. Don't let them trick you with that. Is people learning this last week? A lot of people are asking me that question because they met it in exam. And what is the maximum speed in a built-up area for lorry? And you know, they were thinking is lesser than the one of the private car. No. When you look at chapter 2 of our textbook, which we use in school, you will see that all the bus are. They have the bus, all the vehicles have the same maximum speed in a built-up area. Remember that we are talking about the generic speed, but there are some specific speed in some area, in some community, where they reduce it than the generic speed. Any other question from anyone? Any other question from anyone? Any other question from anyone? Emergency brake is that ABS. That ABS is emergency brake. Emergency brake, please. We have also, most of our material is coming up on our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel, please help us to subscribe. Put the notification, because we are going to be having a lot of things, a lot of materials are in studio, which we want to put in this month. So please try to help us to share our Facebook, log in, subscribe, write comments, like most of our video. Just encourage us with it. It's very, very important. Let's have this video will still go there, so you can help us to visit it and rewatch, and from there you can help us to share with your friends that are not on live with us now. So it's any other question from anybody? We have like 3 minutes to go. Any other question from anyone? Any question from the house? Any question? I'm having my people on the plan, please. I want to appreciate those online. Please let me see if I'm not able to see you online. Please let me just type something. If it's just hello prof, let me just be able to, because I need to appreciate you, because you've been the best online. You've been the best. There are people that hide to come here. Oh, thank you so much, my brother Midred Nwachi, thank you very much. Madam, when are you going to do exam? Call me, let's talk, because I think you are ripe already, You are ripe. You have to give me a call maybe during the week. Let's talk, so that you have to give it a try, I know you pass. I'm very sure, because you're doing so best. Your assessment with me is really in the school, because I have assessment of all students when I give test. It's really encouraging. Now, on what type of road do we have serious accidents? On what type of road do we have serious accident? Accident in the way. Accident is collision. The accident that results to death is more on interurban road, which is the highway. But the accident that involve more victim is more in urban road. But the one that is most dangerous is the outside built-up area, which is the highway, because of the high speed. So when you have any collision with this, it becomes a problem. So Sister Favor, you are my evangelist. Favor, you are welcome on board. So you're welcome on board. Sister Bridget, I appreciate you. Sister Precious, Sister Jane, I appreciate you so much. Mr. Monday, I appreciate you so much for coming online. I said I want to appreciate you people. that comes online. I appreciate you so much, so much, so much. We'll be calling. We have 2 minutes to go. 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 You have 2 minutes to go, please. What side? Please bring up your question. Bring up you can call in through 620-586-038. Call in through WhatsApp, even if you don't have credit. What side do motorcycle? Which side do motorcycle park in an urban area? Which side? Their area designed for motorcycle, good. And again, in an urban area where you park, if you have one-way road, you can park on any side. If you have two-way road, you park on the right, on the direction of your traffic. But most time, motorcycle is always having like this is Sister Bridget. Please, after the lecture, call me. Please call me. You understand me? Because you've been doing a great job by putting a call me after the lecture. I want to know the person. I want to know the person very well. Call me on phone after the lecture. Please call me. So I want to show something to you for being there always. Please call me. So that is it, Mr. Sunday. Hope I answered your question. Please, if I answer your question, please thumb up. Let me see if you're clear with what I explained. There are some area in Spain here where they design for the parking of motorcycle. So motorcycle you can't just park it anywhere. You can't park it on where pedestrian uses on pavement. Don't do it. You understand me? Just do it. My precious sister, you're welcome on board also. So if you don't have a minute to go, if you don't have any question, I think okay, Sister Bridget, thank you. So if you're watching our video after this live, you're watching after this live package, please, you want to get in touch with us, you can get us on Facebook, Steve Adetela. You can get us on Instagram, Ade Ayotela. You can get us on our YouTube, Steve Adetela. Or you call me on my number 620-586-038. I'm here to assist. I'm doing my own possible best to assist, because it is your year and somebody needs to motivate you. I'm motivating you to do it. If you don't want, if you're using a material, you can even cross-check your material with us. We can get the material for you. We can prepare you for exam. For the medical test before your exam, we can have it done for you also. And if you have any mechanical problem with your car, you can call us for us to tell you what to do and give you the idea of how to go about it also. And we can also introduce mechanic and workshop where you can fix it up for you. And we are available to as many things you feel can be part of road safety that we need to assist. I'm your brother. I'm a Nigerian. I'm an African person. I'm a black person. So even though if I live in a white nation, but I need to make it real for you, and I need to help you. Don't listen to those that tells you that it is not possible. Improve the state of your residence permit here in abroad by having a driver's license. It is important. It is possible. If people can be getting it, it is possible. Don't just give up. It's not a stress. When you get it, it's not more stress. Don't allow people to do it for you. I keep saying it. Don't allow people to do it for you. I still have people that has lost their residence because of somebody can say, I'll go and do it in the village. My brother, my sister, it's not right. Don't let them do it for you. We are available to assist. I'm available to put in my best, to make it real. Even though if you want our material alone, we are available. Or visit our YouTube channel to see most of our videos. Sit down there, watch. If you have any question, call me. Even though you wouldn't want to be my student, call me for any question. I will answer you. Help us to share to as many people that you have on your friend list. God bless you as I come your way again. I'm Steve Ade Ayotela, a road safety and automobile expert. Thank you for coming online. God bless you. I love you all. Those that I cannot call, I didn't see you. Please, I'm sorry if I didn't see you. I want to appreciate you. I might not. Please, I told you, thumb up for me to see. But Mr. Sunday, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So we have to leave because it's so wonderful to have you today. And this topic can still go on YouTube. So thank you very much. It is possible. We don't give up. Thank you. We won't give up. We'll never give up. We'll never give up. I don't give up even on my students. If I cannot give up on you, so you won't give up on yourself. It's possible. It's possible. Thank you very much. We see again next week Saturday, same time.